I'm out here again with the Eachine E129 micro helicopter. I had gotten a comment from Lasersby on our YouTube channel regarding this micro helicopter, and he had stated that it was supported under the multi-protocol firmware for OpenTX. So I scrolled through the list of protocols, and sure enough, there's a protocol in there for the E129. So I bound up to it with my TX16S transmitter and just hovered it around in the backyard. It was getting pretty dark, but I just have the basics set up on it right now. I can arm it, I can recalibrate the gyro, I have full flight control with it, but I haven't yet programmed in the 1-key takeoff, the 1-key land, the emergency stop, and I didn't see anything in the protocol information for high rate and low rate. They do have different channels set up for trims as well, and I haven't got those set up yet, but I just wanted to bring it out and test it out on the TX16S to see how much smoother the controls were with the helicopter compared to the stock transmitter. And I want to thank Lasersby for that information so that I could conduct this test today, because I did not realize that they had the protocol for the E129 and OpenTX. So let's go ahead and get it over here for takeoff. Okay. RadioMaster TX16S. I'm going to go ahead and pull the arms down to arm the motor, and we're off. Okay, so one thing I want to see right away is how softly I can set it down compared to the stock transmitter. Let's see. Well, that wasn't very soft. Let's try that again. Nice soft takeoff. Let's go up about a meter and see if we can bring it down slowly. That was better. Okay, so let's get it back in the air. Now you have tons of resolution in all axis on this now. Check out the yaw rate. Pretty sweet, huh? Okay. And the throttle has tons of resolution, so when you're descending, make sure that when you're descending, like I am now, that you add some throttle back before you get to your desired altitude, because it doesn't ascend very quickly and it doesn't descend very quickly, because I mean it is a beginner helicopter. But let's bring it out in front of me again and I'll show you. Okay, I'm going to go full stick on the throttle here once I get it stabilized. Let's get it up here in a hover. Okay, full throttle. Okay, so it ascends very slowly, and it's going to descend very slowly. But it takes it some time to spin that rotor back up. So make sure that you're applying some throttle before you get to your desired altitude, so that you don't descend past it. This is the second flight that I've had on this morning after checking it out, and I actually descended too quickly and actually did a touch and go with it because I didn't get back in the throttle quick enough. But look at the yaw rate on it now. Just like, I'm descending now. There we go. Just like the micro airplanes, there's just no comparison between the amount of resolution you have on a hobby grade transmitter compared to, look at that, smooth, compared to the stock transmitter. Just no comparison whatsoever. I think I may actually, I've got quite a bit of expo in here because you know, the stock transmitter didn't have a lot of resolution. So I definitely like the amount of resolution that I have in the yaw axis, but it almost feels like the amount of resolution I have in the roll and the pitch axis may actually be a little bit too much. But yeah, look at that yaw right now. That is awesome. Isn't that smooth? There's just no comparison between these stock transmitters and these hobby grade transmitters. So this on the RadioMaster TX16S or any other, hobby grade multi-protocol transmitter, that is smooth. That is awesome. I've got my timer set for 9 minutes, I think. But so much smoother. The hobby grade transmitter does as much for these micro helis as it does for the micro airplanes. I was so surprised the first time I put it in the air just how smooth this thing is now. That is awesome. And it feels like it might be in high rate. I'm not sure. I have so little wind out here today. It's amazing. I got 2 to 3 mile per hour wind. But the way it's dumping over, it feels like it's in high rate mode rather than low rate mode. But it's hard to tell because I don't really have much wind to push against. But let's dump it over here and see. Well, maybe it is low rate. I'm gonna have to see about that. Now, without any wind, it moves out pretty quickly, but when you got to push against the wind, you really need high rate. But isn't that slick? Look at the yaw now. That is just awesome. I've also found it easier, once I get used to the throttle, and this is just my second flight, but I also think it makes it a little bit easier to maintain your desired altitude, even though I don't have, a throttle stick that sets in the center. It just seems like it's a lot smoother, ascending and descending. And it may just be the fact that there's so much more throttle resolution now than there was before that makes it easier for me to maintain my altitude better. Now look at that. Look at that, how smooth. Oh, watch the truck. That was one of those deals where I was descending and didn't get back into the throttle quite enough. Sweet, huh? I am totally impressed playing this on a hobby grade transmitter. That is awesome. Descending. Okay, now I'm back in the throttle. But so smooth. Getting a little bit of drift from what wind we do have. So you still have to, even with a 2 or 3 mile an hour wind, you do have to, push against the wind quite a bit. That is cool. Oh, have I been flying for 9 minutes already? When you're having fun, time flies, doesn't it? Literally. Well, look at that. That is so cool. Okay. So, should be about the end of our timer now. Okay, let's see if we can come in and set it down smoothly. Yeah, there we go. So I've had it in the air for 9 minutes. Oh, that was nice and smooth. Yeah, you have so much more throttle control. And that's the way it is with all these micro aircraft, whether it's a helicopter or airplane. You have so much more throttle control. You can set that down nice and soft once you get used to the tons of resolution that you have now in the throttle. And the yaw, I really like where I have the yaw axis. I think I'm going to try and cut my expo down a little bit on the pitch and roll axis and see how that feels, because it feels really, really soft to me right now. Maybe a little bit too soft. But awesome test flight with the TX16S. Makes it a completely different little micro helicopter. Flies fantastic, even in the yaw axis, extremely smooth. I want to thank Lasersby again for providing me with that information. I will see if I can get the rest of the functions set up on the TX16S, and when I get it tuned in exactly the way I like to fly it, I will publish my setup file and my model file. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the air.